Wilson back again. I'm doing a little bit of letter pressing and some embossing using our dies for this card. And we're using the configurations too, and we're going to do a little bit of clipping on those so you'll see that. I'm going to be using the Wild Rose from our Finishing Touches, the Just For You Ornate Oval, the Teardrop Adornment, and some frames from the double pierced squares out of our Noble set. So I think I'm going to start with some embossing using our dies. Now I've done a little bit ahead of time just to show you, but we'll do the last little section here. So I'm going to bring in our Wild Rose and pop this down. And I think actually I'll turn it this way. You can see it better. And a little bit of tape to hold that into place like that. And I have my embossing plate and mat there. We're just going to run this through. Okay, so while this die is still in place, I'm going to ink around it. And this center part's not going to show, so I'm going to just leave my tape in place. Using some of the Tattered Rose Distress ink in our Smoothie, I'm going to ink up the edge here around that pretty rose. There we go. Okay, so remove your die, and the one thing you want to do is you do need to realize that the last one that you've done is going to be really deeply embossed, whereas the other ones you've done previously will be flattened, so you're going to have to run it through one more time once you've done all your inking and flatten them so they're even. So you'll still get that real pretty embossed effect, but it's more of an even look. You don't have one that's stronger than the rest of them. So I'm going to go ahead and put that into place with a bit of double-sided tape onto a larger piece that I've already done some matting with. There we go. So I've just done the double pierced square as a mat there, so that's ready to go. Now I'm going to bring my base back in, and I've already gone ahead and cut 3 of the teardrop adornments, and I've got an extra one here. But if I put it on like this, it kind of nips out the side, so we are just going to do a little bit of pruning to our die. Just take this last little bit off on both sides. Easy peasy. I'm going to go ahead and spray this into place. So I'll have a real pretty little edge in each corner. That looks nice. Okay. So the next thing, I've gone ahead and cut 2 frames with the double pierced squares and crisscrossed them, added some mounting foam. So I'm going to go ahead and put that into place. That's just going to raise it up a little bit for some dimension. There we go. And that should fit in there nicely. Okay. So I can bring this piece back in and put it on a like a diamond orientation there in the center. And I've added in some mounting foam for that too. There we go. That should sit right in the middle of those. Okay, so we're kind of working up from here. So the next thing I'm going to do is bring my rose back in. Get rid of my little bits there. And I'm going to do just a little bit of letter pressing on this deboss area. And I'm just using some distressing, some Tattered Rose. That should work. I'm going to go ahead and emboss it before I cut it. That into place like that, and that should transfer the ink onto the white card. Now distress ink, when you use it for a letterpress, it's a little bit more of a it's not quite as smooth as a pigment ink, but you can use it quite easily. So now let me move this over and we will cut it. Since it's water-based, you can take a little bit of water on a paintbrush and you can smooth it out a little bit too if you're not happy with it. But we're just going to add some Cosmic Shimmer Lacquer to it. Okay, pop this out. Let's see how it looks. There you go. So you see a little bit of the color coming into the rose there. So what I'm going to do is just bring that in and use some Cosmic Lacquer here. Just add it into those recessed areas a bit. There we go. Okay, now that will take a bit to dry. So I'll set that over here. But I'll show you what it looks like when it's dry. Got a real pretty shiny area to your rose coming through. It's quite pretty, I think. Okay, so I've taken one of the smaller of the double pierced squares and I've just inked it with some Tattered Rose, so I'm going to use that as my background. Pop that in the center here, about like that. And I've cut two of the ornate ovals for our sentiment. What's really nice about this sentiment too is it can go this way or it can go this way, depending on whatever your particular project needs. I'm going to use some spray on the back of it. And I think we're going to put it on this direction for this card. Pop that into place. And I've done two of the Just For You and layered them on top of each other to give them a little bit more thickness. Give them a quick spray. Pop that right in the center of our frame. There we go. And I'm just going to add a little bit of Cosmic Shimmer glue to the back of our rose here. Put some on the leaves. We're going to add that just right like that onto the side. Gives a nice little accent. Give it a second to set up. And there we go. How pretty is that? Really love the way you've got the embossed flower in the background and it ties in with the one that you've cut and lacquered on the front. Really nice soft colors. I think that's so pretty. Well, I do hope you've enjoyed the video for today and look for us again soon. We have so many more on our YouTube channel. Bye.